Hey guys, Daryl Shergan. Today I'm doing a review on the Sigelei 75W Oni edition. This is a limited release. It's sort of a collector's item, rare, hard to get, and it's very cool. The Oni is the Japanese demon. Japanese mythology. I happen to have my Billo 2 Nano on here, and it's an RTA built at a 0.5 ohm resistance. I like this. It's a cutie. It's 75 watts, uses a single 18650 battery. And I'm not using it for 75 watts. I'm using it for 40, 50 watts. It can do 75 watts very well, but it's one battery, so it's going to go through that battery relatively quickly. It wouldn't be my choice of mods to grab and walk around with if I'm walking around all day. On this, yes, at 40 watts, one battery will last me a day. If I want high power at 60 to 75 watts, obviously you're going to have to make a judgment call if you want to carry another couple of batteries on you. It's going to go through power pretty quickly. It's not the mod's fault. You're asking for that much power out of one battery. But it does power the crown tank very nicely. It's a nice matchup. It's got some nice weight to it, especially with the battery and the tank in there. It's not a stealthy vape, but it's definitely a solid mod. Feels solid, nothing rattling, nothing janky. Great vape, classy device. Teal blue. Let's go dive down close and I'll show you the details on this one. This is the Sigelei 75W temperature control mod from Sigelei and distributed by Asmodus Distribution. This is the Oni special edition. Oni is the Japanese demon from Japanese mythology. Vape it, love it. Shenzhen Sigelei technology. Okay, let's get into this. So this was sent to me by Asmodus Distribution to review. Technical specs are variable wattage range from 5 watts to 75 watts. Atomizer resistance from 0.05 ohms to 2.5 ohms. Battery capacity 3.2 volts to 4.2 volts. Okay. Not if you're under 18, pregnant, nursing women, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So this is a temperature control device, so you can use this with your tanks and atomizers that use nickel, titanium. All right. Comes with this nice silicone sleeve, which is tight fitting. Cutouts for the buttons, the screen, vent holes. All right, this is the artwork on the mod itself. Look how nice that is. If you're not familiar with the Sigelei 75W, these doors both come off. And look how nicely that artwork lines up. Doors easily go back on with magnets. All right, we're going to get into the details on the box in a second. Let's take a look at what else comes in this plastic box. That silicone sleeve gummy took up the slack and it was nice and snug in here. So this comes with a user manual and a warranty card. Asmodus Distribution, 90-day warranty agreement, repair coverage. Okay, read that. Read that. And it's also in French and Chinese. Okay, there's your warranty card and what you do for servicing. User manual. If you buy this, please read this. Read every page. Read the whole thing. If you're going to be using temperature control, you must know how to use the temperature control, set it in that mode for the type of wire that you're going to be vaping, and how to lock the resistance. Note, it is recommended to use Sigelei 30 amp or 35 amp high drain battery and Sigelei Elite Tank for better vaping experience. Yeah, use our tank only, and only our batteries. Well, you don't have to. But the 30 amp is a good idea, especially if you're going to be doing high wattage. Okay, so these are the specs. Output voltage range 0.5 volts to 8.5 volts, which means it has a booster. It's going to boost power. The chip is going to boost power from the single 18650 battery. Maximum current 25 amps. So if you try and use a build and vape this thing and draw more than 25 amps, it's going to shut. It's not going to fire. This will fire down to a 0.05. Supports both regular Canthal and nickel wires. Okay, so it does not have a titanium vaping option for temperature control. Okay, main features, 75 watts, low voltage protection, input high voltage, warning, reverse battery protection. Here's how you install the batteries. Temperature control mode, wattage mode, load resistance protection, output short circuit protection, overheating protection. Okay, here's how you turn on the device. I'm not going to go through the whole menu. I'm just showing you the user manual is so that you know how to put this into temperature control mode. Read this. Do not use this if you don't know how to put it into temperature control, and change and adjust the settings for that. You got no business vaping with nickel if you haven't read your user manual. All right, fire duration, 10 seconds. Oh, it'll go up to 20 seconds, working overtime. So there you go. Here's your manual. Okay, you guys got it? Go through it, read it. It's going to be in another language over here. No, yep, French. So the first half is English, the second half is French. Now let's look at this cool mod. I have a battery in here. Not the best battery. This is what you call, how you say, bullshit. Not a 35 amp battery with 3,000 milliamp hours, but very nice, Imran. You're very creative. Okay, enough said about that. You want to use a good battery, get one that's legit, that actually puts out the power it says it puts out. Here, Samsung 25R. It's a 25 amp battery. There's no reason to brag and embellish and say something does any more than it actually does. It's not necessary. So you take both sides off, you just push the battery right out. You take this liar, put it off to the side, and put this honest battery. Sorry, Sigelei, I no longer have my Sigelei batteries. I did. I bought them from Asmodus Distribution. No longer have my pair. They are functionally used up. I recycled them. Okay, so look at the cool artwork. This makes it the Oni edition, and also that cool color. Teal blue. All right, we've got a spring 510 connection in there. Nice threading, solid 510 connection. These buttons are nice and stiff. There's no rattling. That battery is solid in there. These doors are not going anywhere. They're on there with magnets, but they're solid. There's some strong magnets right there. And these little bumps fit right in. Okay. See how that goes? So I like these batteries. They're nice and clicky. They're not loose. They don't rattle around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turns the device on. Now we have it. I've been rocking not the Sigelei. I have the Sigelei tank. I do. But I prefer. All right, I'll take this one. That's an edit. going to use my Billow 2 Nano tank. Just a Canthal build in here. I had to put an atomizer on there so I could show you the menu options. Power. That takes a long time. 5 watts, hey, what do you know? And it stops there, it doesn't recycle back through. All the way up to 75 watts. On this build, my Billow 2 right now, I'm vaping at about 45 watts. It's reading a 0.49 ohm resistance, giving me 4.7 volts. Okay, so let's take a look at temperature control. No, that's how you turn it off. Daryl didn't read his user manual. No, that doesn't do it. Set resistance, 0.49. Didn't need to do that. System locked. System unlocked. Now it's in temp mode. Fortunately, I watched my buddy. There we go. And now it goes. My buddy ST Vapes did a review on this, so I watched his video, and that's how I know how to switch it. It started out in Celsius, then you go play around with it in Fahrenheit mode. Okay. Good. Now for wattage. Hold these two down. Now I'm going to adjust my wattage. 551 degrees, and then say 60. So this will give me wattage in temperature control all the way up to 75 watts. On the IPV products, it tells you in terms of joules. On the Sigelei product, it's in terms of wattage. Well, on this anyway. Okay, so that's temperature control. Now let's hold this plus and minus down again. Plus and minus down again. Setting the resistance. If I had a temperature control, let me see, will it fire in temp control? It is trying, yeah, it's actually trying to do Canthal in temp control. Well, it's firing. I don't know if it would actually read a temperature coefficient off of this resistance on Canthal, but it's trying. So system locked, system unlocked. So I wanted to put it back into power mode. I just held the up and down arrow, the plus and minus arrow at the same time for a few seconds, and then now I'm back in power mode. Let's go up top and vape on it and talk about it. Okay, we're back up top. My thoughts and impressions on this. It's a great mod. I love it. Thank you very much, Asmodus, for sending this to me. Whether you get the regular Sigelei 75 watt or you get this Oni edition, they're both going to serve you nicely if 75 watts suits your needs. It'll absolutely give you best performance on the crown for that 60 to 75 watt range. However, you are using one battery. If you're vaping all day on the crown, 60 to 75 watts, you're going to need another battery. I do have the Sigelei tank. It's not my favorite sub-ohm tank. It's a good tank, but this is what I prefer. And it's powering it very, very nicely. So if you're looking to move up to a nice higher powered mid-range, there you go. 75 watt Sigelei. I have heard of no issues with this so far. It's been out for 3-4 months now, and everybody I know who has one loves it. And again, on one battery, I'm walking around all day vaping at 40 watts on an RTA. And even at 60 to 75 watts, I might replace a battery once, maybe twice, if this is the only mod I'm vaping on all day long. But at 40 watts, we're good. I also wanted to mention that Asmodus has a line of juice. It's called Pirates. I'm going to do a more detailed review. These are some pretty bold flavors, very distinctive, very interesting. Desert Cooler. This is like a lime cooler. I'm going to go into more detail in another review. Raspberry Freeze, a little bit of menthol, very fruity, very bold, very yummy. Interesting. Suada. That is an espresso on ice. So yeah, it's coffee, espresso with cream, and a little hint of mint. Very interesting. I would not have put those two flavors together, but it kind of works in an interesting way. And this one here is an iced tea. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for watching Quest for Vape. This is the Sigelei 75 watt Oni special edition.